Good morning. I'm really happy because I just figured out the setting that creates the black bars. If you noticed in my last vlog, you probably didn't. You probably don't care, but I am learning a lot of things. And there's a cinematic setting. I have no idea, by the way, how I accidentally press it, but apparently I do because sometimes it goes cinematic and then not. But now I know. This is video 4 of my 20 video YouTube tiny experiment, and I'm learning so many things, like how to not accidentally hit buttons, how in a thumbnail, how long a video is goes in the corner, so you don't want to put words there, which is apparently where I love to put words. So hopefully I didn't do that on this one. I think this will be the one. So I am in a little co-working space right now. It's in my apartment. The AC is broken. So it's Florida, it's fall. I don't know if it's officially fall, but Instagram and YouTube say that it's fall, so who am I to counter? It's fine right now because it's pretty early. I probably won't make it long. I'll probably go to a coffee shop later, but before I start work, I'm so excited. I am going to publish a blog post. I am a writer, I'm a blogger. I have 2 blogs now. One is called Creative Teacup. That one I started almost a decade ago, which is crazy. I started my very first blog in 2010. So, oh my gosh, it's been a long time. So anyway, my second blog, I guess technically, is called Creative Teacup. That one is still alive, and that is where I profile creative artists. And then I started a new blog last year called A True Story About. So that is at atruestoryabout.com, and that is a kind of digital magazine for human interest stories. And so I've been slowly adding to that, and I say slowly because I graduated with my MFA in January 2024, and that my book had also just come out. And so, I don't know, I just went into this weird amorphous state as a writer, which I've heard it's normal, especially after an MFA and a book. You kind of go into this period where you've got to refill the well. And so that's kind of what I've been doing for almost, for definitely a year and a half, almost 2 years. And it's been a weird time for me, honestly. I've been such a avid writer for so long, and this has been the longest I think I've ever gone with really slowing down, not writing as much, letting myself be okay with that, but I never feel okay with it, to be honest. I just always feel best when I'm writing. Also, my dog died in June, and that had, that just stopped my writing altogether in ways that honestly I didn't expect, because when he got diagnosed with cancer, I was writing like crazy, little poems, just writing things out that I was going through, and it was so cathartic and so helpful. And it really surprised me that as soon as he died, in deep grief, writing was not there for me, which is part of why I started blogging, because I just had that feeling that I needed a creative outlet in some way to just be okay. And the writing was not it. I tried a little bit, and I could just, you can just tell. I was like, nope, not the one. But I did a 4-day LA trip this past weekend. It was so great. My husband went to see Oasis with one of his best friends on a Saturday night, and then it turned out Goo Goo Dolls and Dashboard Confessional just happened to be there on Sunday night, so we decided to go see them too. It was fabulous. It was a very early 2000s kind of concert. I loved it. I really loved Dashboard. They sounded even better than I expected. Screaming those songs just made my heart so happy. And then on the flight back home, I was also happened to be sitting by another early 2000s celebrity. He was really, really nice, and it just felt like, what a perfect end to the weekend. But I had a great time. What was also really nice is 3 of my best friends live in the LA area, and so I got to see all of them, which was so nice. Sometimes it's so hard when you do quick trips, and I'm really lucky in that I have many friends in LA now who I love very much. Sometimes I think I just need to go and spend a week and do nothing but just see people. But I was able to see 3 friends this time, which felt really good. Usually it's nice if I can at least see 1 or 2. But it was so good, and they all have dogs. And so I got to spend so much time with their dogs. I took no pictures. We took no pictures together as friends, but I took all the pictures of their dogs. So I had an incredible long conversations with all of them that were just so nourishing, and then getting to hug their dogs was so special. And so I had a great time. And then the food. I love food. Food is like an essential part of my life as well as my vacations. And LA, I've always had good food there. But this, for some reason, something magical happened, and it was just the best LA food trip I ever had without even trying. And a lot of that's probably thanks to my friends who kind of curated it all for me, right? They know what they're doing. The best fish tacos. I probably have like no pictures of any of this. I tend to not take pictures of the greatest things, aside from dogs, because I just get so into the moment. That's why I'm a writer and not like a great visual content creator, because I just get so excited and I forget to like stop and take pictures of things. I have friends who we always share our trip pictures, and they do a really good job of doing it. They're food people like me, and they were like, send pictures of food in LA, and I sent one, and I felt really bad. But I had a great time. And then I went to this area that I'd never been to before. I think it's called Sawtell. I could be saying that wrong. I'll put it on the screen. No one actually said it out loud, but I saw it on the map. And it was this area that had just so many like ramen restaurants and really cool stores with a lot of Japanese products. And then there were really good dessert places. And we went to this dessert place that has those kind of fish cones. And I got an ube black sesame swirl. I love dessert, but I'm not the dessert person. Like, I usually get more excited about like fish tacos. Like, I'm more of the salty kind of person. That's the kind of food that gets me really excited. But when a dessert hits, there's just nothing like it. Look at my hands. And there was just this moment where I was out in the street, the weather was perfect, eating my ice cream in the fish cone, and I just had a moment. I'll probably never forget it, honestly. Oh, wow, I cannot believe I'm getting emotional about ice cream. But the reason is because I felt good. You know, I don't know if good's the right word. I felt okay in a way I had not felt since my dog died. And it was nice to breathe for a minute and just feel okay. And really, like, just feel the weather, enjoy the ice cream, you know. It was nice. And clearly, it had an effect, more than just that moment, because on the flight home, with the early 2000s celebrity sitting next to me, I wrote a thing. I wrote a story that, by the way, I did the interview for the story last December. It's been, when I say I've been in like writer's block, it has been real. And writing stories like this is my favorite thing in the world. It's when people ask like, what makes you feel most alive? You know, that question. Love that question, by the way. Feel free to, think about your answer. Like, when do you feel most alive? For me, the answer has always been when I am like interviewing someone for a story. This is what I love to do, and yet I haven't been doing it, and not for lack of wanting to. It's been a really weird, strange time, but I've just been going with the flow and knowing, because I've profiled so many creative people, that this is part of the process, that there are fallow periods and you just have to refill the well, and it'll come back. And it came back on the plane, and I wrote this story, and so it should be out now by the time you're seeing this, so the link should be below. And I'm actually gonna publish it now before work, but I am so excited. It is such a beautiful story about a woman who, her father died of cancer, and so she, after talks with her doctor, decided to get genetic testing to see if she was at risk for cancer, to possibly do some preventative things. And before she did the genetic testing, but by that time she found out in her early 30s that she actually already had cancer. And so it's about her journey going through that, going through cancer in her early 30s, and also how it feels afterwards. Thankfully, she's still here, and she is cancer-free now, but the story explores not only what that experience was like, but also what it was like afterwards, like after something like that hits, and it kind of changes your life and how you see things. And it is just a really beautiful story, not because of how I wrote it, but because of how Lindsay lived it and how generous she was in sharing this story. So that will be linked down below. I hope you read it. I look forward to hearing what you think, and I'm just so happy that I'm writing again. Anyway, let's go publish it, and then probably go to a coffee shop before my next meeting if I can, because yeah, this isn't gonna work. The theme of this vlog channel is being in places that are too hot. Welcome to Florida. I'm at the coffee shop and I just need to show you my sunshade that I'm so proud of. It just reminds me of my dad in the late 90s because he had one of these. It was all silver, and now I finally have one because my car was getting too hot because Florida. And you know, I love it. I love it, and I needed you to know that. Also, you may have noticed there's no clip of me publishing that story yet because it's actually not ready yet. So obviously I send every story that I write for the person I write about to do a review, to do a fact check, and she said she was gonna do that late last night, but then her daughter got some good news, and so they were celebrating, so it's actually not ready yet. So it'll be ready later. If it's ready today, I will publish it today. But I gotta start my work day and got lots of meetings today. Yeah, let's go do it. This is me showing my hand because I figured out a hand-free way to talk in my car finally. I'm not driving, obviously. I'm parked. But yeah, it wasn't that hard. I had like tried to set my camera on the dash and that clearly did not work. And then today I finally was like, oh, I was watching actually a vlog this morning of someone talking hands-free in their car, and I was like, oh, I should just put it on my little, you know, tripod thingy and just set it there. We're learning so many things. Anyway, that's great. It'll probably be less shaky for you. So just finished the first half of my workday, mostly a lot of meetings, but they were really, really wonderful. And now I am kind of on a lunch break, but what I'm gonna do on my lunch break before I go back home is I'm gonna get some fresh flowers. And why I'm really excited about that is I haven't bought new fresh flowers since Stanley, my dog, died. So that was one of the first things we did. We lost him on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and it was so strange to then be like, okay, what do we do? What do we do now? It was such a weird, strange, horrible day, and there was a lot of crying and sobbing, but you know, you can't and don't want to do that for 12 hours a day, so you've got to do something else with yourself. And we cleaned because there was a lot of mess stuff everywhere from the end of his illness. And then after that, we're like, we gotta get out of the house. It was just so sad. And so we went on a drive, and I had this moment. I remember actually before we got in the car, I was like, I need flowers. I need fresh flowers in honor of my boy. So we went to Publix and we got fresh flowers, and I picked out these yellow carnations. And I remember saying when I picked them out, I was like, I'm getting these because he was the sunshine of my life. And so I got those yellow carnations. They were the longest lasting flowers. I also was gifted so many flowers from people, which was just the most amazing thing ever. It made the house smell so good, and it just felt like that bit of life that was missing now that our dog was gone. So I'm so grateful to everyone who did that. It made me so happy. And those first flowers I bought were the ones that ended up lasting the longest for some reason. Probably because they weren't shipped, maybe. I don't know. But they lasted a really long time. And then the very last flower standing was this orchid that a friend sent me, and it ended up arriving the morning Stanley died, and she didn't even know that at the time. She had sent the orchids because she knew he was not doing well. She didn't know, no one knew at the time that he was going to die Saturday morning. And so those flowers arrived that morning just before we had to let him go, and those orchids have stayed alive all this time. It's been months, and the very last orchid fell, I think it was on Monday. And it felt very Beauty and the Beast, like last petal fell, and it felt really good actually. I just felt really grateful for everyone who helped me get through this really tough season. I'm feeling like I'm in a much better place. Did I cry about Stanley today when I was talking about him in a meeting with a new coworker? Yes, but it's fine. It's great. I think that will happen forever. I will always miss him. I'll always love him. But I have not bought new fresh flowers. So that orchid was kind of the last fresh flower, and I haven't bought any since Stanley died. And so it feels just special to go do that again. And I'll probably think of him forever now when I buy fresh flowers. So I'm gonna go pick out some, see what speaks to me. So I'm gonna bring you along for that. The story that I'm working on, so I'm just waiting for my friend to send me the photos for the story. So I didn't end up publishing it while I was here, but I will show footage of publishing that because I'm just honestly so excited to be publishing something again. But I thought would be fun is I would read you just a little snippet of what's coming. So the story is called, the title is A True Story About Cancer and Why Sometimes the Hardest Part Comes After Everyone Thinks You're Fine. And then I thought what might be fun is I'm just going to read you a little excerpt. That's one of my favorite parts that I think will give you a sense of the vibe of the story. And it's from like the late middle. And now she knew how fragile things really were. How on any given day you can just be waiting for your new couch to arrive and your phone will ring and send you to the floor. Later, you'll look back on the time just before your knees bent, when you were just standing there waiting for that couch. You'll remember it forever as the last time you felt okay. The last time you got to be the person you were before you knew how quickly the best things in life can disappear. So, there's some sad stuff in this one, but there's also a lot of light and a lot of hope, and I really hope you enjoy it. So I should be publishing that later tonight, but beforehand, let's go get some flowers in honor of Stanley, in honor of writing again, and then I'm gonna go finish work, and then we'll publish this piece, and then I'm going to play Magic the Gathering. I probably won't vlog that, but have I told you that I'm obsessed with Magic the Gathering? I think I did in my vlog about the things that helped me get through grief with Stanley. But yes, Magic the Gathering, if you play, if you know what I'm talking about, let's talk. I love it. I'm obsessed. I just learned maybe a month ago or so now, and it's so fun. And okay, this is relevant. I bought a card that was $30, and you know, a lot of the cards are like 1 cent, 5 cents, which is also really fun to buy things that are like 5 cents. But I did buy one for 30. It's one of the cards that made me know I wanted to play. It's like this foil card. I'll take a picture, I'll show it as I talk about this, but it is this card of a girl and her dog. And it is so special to me. I have framed it along with a few other of my favorite cards. So I'm loving the cards as like an art collector kind of person. They're really feeding that side of me, which is so great because I've run out of walls for my original art pretty much at this point. So I am loving doing that, but then of course I love playing. So it's fun to have those two sides. So I'm doing that tonight. I can't wait. And then Dungeons and Dragons is happening this Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to. I started playing that this year, and the people I play with, unfortunately, all have lives. It's so annoying. We all have lives. We all are, you know, go on vacations. I've been trying to convince everyone to stop having a life so we can play D&D more regularly, but we're doing what we can. You know, I'm part of the problem too. But anyway, we had this huge thing happen in the narrative. Huge. And then we all had things to do. We all had travel, we all had work stuff, and we just haven't played in a long time, and we're on this huge cliffhanger. So we're finally going to be all together again on Saturday. So got some gaming happening, and I'm about to finish Clair Obscur. I will definitely finish by the end of this weekend. I am so close. No spoilers, please. But oh my gosh, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. If you like video games and you haven't played it yet, please go. Run now. It has been so phenomenal. I'll talk more about it probably once I finish. I'm very excited, and it feels good to look forward to a weekend and look forward to things. I really struggled to do that for the last few months, and that just started to come back, which is nice because that's just me. So yeah, let's go get some flowers.